Day 2, extension. Now, if you have low back issues, spondylolisthesis, or anything that your doctor has said you should not arch or extend your spine, please do not do this exercise video. Consult your physician and come back when you're ready or you have been allowed to do those types of exercises. Extension can be very extreme. I want to show you that extension can be very serving of low back issues because I have full-on lordosis, low back pain. I've had, when I got in my first car accident, my low back did not fuse, and those vertebrae are very wobbly, so I get a lot of times where my sacrum is unstable and it will pop out of joint. So I know back pain. I will show you how to keep yourself safe if you're a beginner or if you come from pain as well. Join me in a shell position on your knees and sitting your bottom back over your heels, and you're going to drop your head down. Your hands are going to come back towards your feet as opposed to out here like child's pose. A lot of times people are trying to get too flat in this position and stretch more of their shoulders. I want this to be about your low back, okay? So you're going to grab onto those heels and sit your bottom back as much as possible. Rest your head on the ground if it's possible. If not, you might need to add a yoga block or a ball or a pad. So what we're going to do is take a big inhale through your low belly. You're going to feel lateral expansion in your rib cage right here, pulling your rib cage apart. And you're going to notice some movement here in my low back. How it gets rounder and it fills in the space right here. That's what we're looking for. You're drawing your abdominals up off your thighs, okay? So that feeling of drawing the abdominals in and up is going to help protect your back when we go into extensions. So sitting just like this, I want you to think about diaphragmatic breathing where you're really breathing laterally across your ribs, not into your chest or not into your stomach, like bloating your stomach out. So I want you to really think about your hip bones and fill that air all the way up in your full abdominal. You know that your lungs are back here, right? So you should be floating that air throughout your whole abdominal cavity. Shoulders can stay pressing down and back and still keep that nice control in the front of your abdominals. We're going to take it down to the mat now. I want you guys to think about cat-cow. Okay, so hands are on the mat, feet are on the mat. And I want you to think about that lift that comes from your spine. Most people do it all in their upper back. So I want you to come from this neutral position and roll your lower back in more. So this is scooping up as much as possible to help this do more of the rounding. And then when we come down, we're going to do that same thing, arching in the lower back. We're still hugged up in our lower belly. And reach it up to the ceiling. You feel the difference there? Instead of just swaying at your chest and shoulders, we're lengthening our tail away from the top of our head here. So you're going to inhale it up and exhale, lengthen it back. Now your range of motion might not be the same as mine, and that's okay. Just go as far as you can. Think of sitting your tailbone or your sits bones further away from your head. Okay? That right there, just this in and of itself, this lower back motion is going to help create so much more extension for your spine. All right, so now we're going to take our hips all the way down to the mat, and we're going to work on a modified swan. Now with swan, you want to keep your thighs pressing down as well as your feet. Your elbows and shoulders tight in and down towards your bottom. Your nose is going to slide along the mat as if you're rolling a marble out from under your nose, and then draw your head up, but shoulders back and down, ribs squeeze. So my hands are pressing lightly, but it's not a big push here. The work is coming deep from in my belly. As I start to roll that marble away, my shoulders are going to pull away from my ears, and my abs and my ribs are going to lift off of the mat. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, rolling that marble away. Squeeze the abdominals up. Pinch your ribs up. Maybe take your hands off if you possibly can, and then bring it back down. You just want to make sure when you take your hands off, your feet don't come up. Okay, inhale, rolling that marble out, squeezing the ribs and abs up. You can push a little further if you have the flexibility, but again, my abs are lifting tight to support my back. There's no overemphasis here, and my shoulders are pressing down and away out of my ears. And then we're going to bring it back down to the mat. Roll the shoulders back, roll the marble out from under your nose, push back, squeeze here, abs in, deep squeeze of the glutes, and draw it back down. So after that, we're going to do a little active motion that's going to bring us kind of into a dolphin dive position. So this exercise, you can have your forearms down if you're a beginner, and you're going to send your hips back behind you and dive forward. You're extending at the shoulder joint, not at your spine. Push and press back. Dive forward and push those hips up toward the ceiling. Press down and press up with nice control there. If you wanted to take it up a notch, you could always go, let me tuck my shirt in. You could always go into full arm. So full arm plank, push back kind of like down dog. Full arm plank and push up like down dog. Okay, those are options as well. So what I want you to think about when you're doing any sort of extension work like this is that you are being very gentle on your spine, okay? So as we move into a little more side plane of motion, we're still going to find that extension. It's just not going to happen through your thoracic spine. So we're going to take ourselves into kind of a side plank position. You can have your full arm, but I'm going to show you on a forearm and my knees staying down. A lot of that upper back work that we were just working on when we were laying on our stomach in Swan is all of our lats and our shoulders support. So this exercise is going to help us get into a good line and hold that shoulder support. I'm like a pop-up tent under here, squeezing from my bottom armpit and shoulder to hold me into this position. You can tap your hip and lift, tap your hip and lift. It's just going to give you that back strength that you need in order to hold those shoulders back and down as you come up into that extension. Let's kick our legs over to the other side and do a little bit of the hip lift over here. So remember, your elbow always lines up inside of your shoulder. So that way when you lift, it's not way out here. We're going to lower and lift. Try to get nice and straight so your nose is in line with your pubic bone. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Really lifting from that bottom side oblique, shoulder, back, and armpit. Good job. We're going to sit up nice and tall for a big stretch. You guys, anytime you're doing any sort of torso rotation or any extension, we want to make sure that we're supporting our neck with that strong back. So these hands are going to come behind, and we're going to lift and twist, twist. Inhale, exhale, twist, twist. So my abs are squeezing in, funneling, and my upper body is twisting to create that thoracic rotation. We need spinal mobility in order to have spinal extension. Twist, 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 twist. Of course, if your hamstrings were really tight, you would be sitting with bent knees like we did in our roll-up, like we did in our modified rollbacks, right? Any of these exercises, if this isn't working for you, go back to one of these. Go back to that half rollback or full roll-up. Remember, in every workout, a roll-up, 10 of these at the beginning and end of every day. is going to help increase your abdominal endurance, and I promise you, you're going to see huge changes in your body. So thank you for joining for Extension Day today. We look forward to seeing you back again for tomorrow. Bye.